Hi, I'm Pauline.
Hey, I'm Priscilla.
I'm Pearl.
And I'm Tamiron.
And welcome to the P3T podcast.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was like, that sounds so familiar.
The theme song.
Royalty-free music.
I hope you keep them both in, and this is the conclusion.
You guys, Pauline's nephew has rejected me after coming to sit with me for like a solid at least like 10 minutes. Now he's rejecting me, but it's okay. It's okay, Inauma. Lakini it does.
It reminds me of Upweke Unauma.
Upweke unauma.
Learn that one?
It was
Swahili.
Yeah, no.
It was a video.
I think it was from one.
Yeah,
I remember it was a giraffe.
Yeah.
It was a cartoon.
And then the lips were big, so it was
Upweke unauma. Upweke. We have very exaggeratively packed our lips as we say those words.
Niche experiences. Wow.
Man.
Tell us if you had that experience in high school.
Yeah.
You probably didn't though. So today we'll be having an interesting discussion which centers around a lot of things that influence us to do certain things. And this thing is desperation, or is it an emotion or whatever?
Yeah.
the devil is what it is.
So we'll be talking in depth about desperation and how it's influenced us to do certain things. I'm sure all of us have had those moments where we feel inclined or a strong urge to do something because of something. So I guess I'll just start it off with the first question. So guys, have you ever been in a situation where you felt desperate? It could be relationships, socially, academically. Anytime you really felt like, hey, manze, I'm desperate and I need to get this thing quick. Yeah. Pearl?
I just want to start because I feel like mine will be the shortest stories. So, you said academically and socially, and I was like, yeah, maybe. So, when we were entering, I said this all the time. Like, I feel like people can repeat this like part of my life. But in the beginning of uni, like, I was so desperate for friends. I think I can say in my first year as a whole. But then I do TSM. In my third semester, I was just like, it's not worth it to like look for friendships where I don't feel like I'm thriving in, or like where I feel like I'm not listening to people in. So that was one moment. Another moment was in like primary, high school, I was so desperate like to get like good marks, but I guess that was pressure from the outside world and pressure from just comparison with my sister. And then in high school, like there were times I'd be desperate for a relationship, like down bad. And that's the one I'll elaborate
further.
Yeah, that's what I'll elaborate further later on as we progress.
I think it's the same for me and on the relationships part, because generally I don't think desperation is something I feel very often.
Same.
I'm one of those people that very quickly I decide it's not for me and I move on, So like I don't think I've ever been desperate. But for relationships, Mimi Pauline, I'm a romantic at heart. Mimi, you can't. Wow, so that's probably like the main one.
Yeah.
And like you guys, throughout high school, I was never desperate for relationships because, I don't know, just the whole responsibility that came with having a relationship felt too much. Like, I'd see you guys and I'm like, oh, you guys are so cute. And then I'd think to myself, do you want a relationship? And I'm like, no thanks. But when I got into uni, it was too bad. It was too much. I know. Yeah, it was very ugly.
Don't flash.
I don't recommend. Yeah. It was definitely there. I think another thing I'm starting to admit to myself that I am desperate for is a friend A friend, guys.
What are
No,
we?
a friend in uni, though.
I was going to be like,
What are we? What are we?
No.
he is not breaking up on account of friendship.
Nah. Not you guys. You guys are my homies. But I want a friend who has the same beliefs as me, who we have no strings. Like atujakutana mahali. Like for honestly, I won't lie to you. A lot of the friends all the friends I have in uni, I've been in high school with. And my classmates are just my classmates. They're acquaintance. I don't necessarily think I'd call them friends. But just when this circumstance together. So we hang out, we talk, blah, blah, blah. So I'd really want to get a friend in uni. You know how people say that in uni is when you get like your bestest friends.
Your
Man, I
bridesmaids.
think, your bridesmaids. I think I'm desperate for that because I want that.
Can
Can
I just say to that? I was in the same situation as you in my first year. Then, in my first and second semesters in my first year, then nikafika 1.2 and I said, is this worth it? Is it worth it to go? Because me, I chased after those friendships.
I'm chasing. There's one I don't even know if there's a future, but I'm really chasing.
You're chasing. Now me, I chase, but I think maybe if you chase with the right people, sour. Me, I was chasing with. Okay, I don't say that the wrong people because they might be listening, but it wasn't like it was a group of people who I really couldn't relate with.
Yeah.
So as much as
Same.
as I love them as human beings, I can't come and tell you I'm struggling to read my Bible because then utaniambia nini, you know.
Yeah.
So when I stepped away from it and I was like, I'm just going to embrace the people in my circle right now. The two people in my circle, you at least have many people from high school. One was from primary, one was from high school. So when I stepped back and embraced the people in my life, and I was like, I'm done looking for friendships. I'm not doing this anymore. That's when I found people coming to me. So that's when I learned like my biggest lesson, which is God gives you things when you're not looking too hard for them. He'll surprise you with them. Because if you're not putting your trust in Him to give you people, then He's going to leave you to your own devices. But once you say, okay, I'm done, it's ni yako sasa, that's when He'll come and show you how easy it can be if you don't depend on your might alone. Yeah.
Not by might.
Lovely.
Not by power. By your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Okay.
Beautiful.
I think for me, the time I can say I was desperate was this semester or last semester now because we've closed school.
You sound like from once. I was not class 8. I was in.
I keep either way, I think I was okay. There are a lot of times that I've been desperate, be it academically because I wanted a good grade, be it okay, but it didn't lead me to cheat or something. Maybe desperate for maybe a financial breakthrough for my parents so that I could do something or get something, you know, like maybe go for a holiday, you know, you feel like, my birthday is coming up, it's December, so they can take me to Atamu or we go just chill for Christmas, you know. But the most recent one was in university in my first semester, which was a few
Jana too.
either way, basically I was desperate for a relationship because I kind of met a guy who I kind of met a guy who was nice. He was like passe.
Was he?
Wait, who was nice physically. in terms of what I was looking for.
As in, he was attractive.
Yes.
Is what you are trying to
He
say.
was very appealing to the eye.
Yes.
And I also admired his confidence, admired his zeal and charisma and all that. Only for things to take a drastic turn. And I found myself in a state where I was wanting that high that he was giving me. So it's that desperation of I want that relationship. And plus, in a way, because of this thing of Valentine's is coming.
Where is your boyfriend?
Exactly.
You are sitting alone.
Lonely.
Is it alone or at home? Whatever.
At home.
Yeah.
Having a Valentine's dinner in my church. Who has a date? Not me.
Either way, so I was looking, and plus I feel like I've wanted that thing for Valentine's. I want someone to come take me out, wish me Valentine's other than my mom. Just someone to show me that affection. So basically, because Valentine's is coming, and now the thing even with social media kind of promoting couple goals, everyone, the pressure is getting worse and worse. So either way, I think this is my most recent time of desperation, just the relationship aspect of it, especially in campus. So for my second question, after we've now talked about how we've been desperate, do you recall how you felt? Obviously you felt desperate, but was it
What are the lengths of your desperation?
yeah, if you were to describe that situation in a more emotional manner, how did it make you feel? What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts in that situation? Did you have doubt? Did you feel less worthy? Did you feel I can do it? How did you feel?
I felt really bad because in high school, the cookies, the dance being sought after by guys. But Aki, thank God they were dance being sought after because Gero. Anyway. And then with seeking academic validation, because I was not getting there, the 844 was not 844ing and the math was not mathing. So that one I really felt bad, but then for relationships,
They really do talk in meme references. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's part of the Gen Z lingo.
Yeah, but that's 99% of my humor. That's why my mom doesn't find me funny. But anyway, we move on. One time I asked my mom, do you find me funny? And she told me, no.
Why do you have to be?
Sometimes you just gotta say you're fine, even though you know you're not fine.
It's a root of my negative self-esteem. My mother not finding me funny. Anyway. So, academic. I feel in every situation that I've been desperate, because I've been desperate most of the time, I haven't gotten it. You can have desperation for I really want to achieve this goal. So you're desperate and you work at it even in your desperation and then you get it. Me, I don't work out, So in that moment of desperation, things are not attractive. So even if looking for friends, my desperation to so badly want to fit into that group, it didn't work. So me leaving, I felt bad. That's when my social anxiety was at its peak. The Christmas tree being adorned with a star. That was where my social anxiety was. Merry Christmas. So So I've just felt really bad, and then also really helpless. I felt a sense of helplessness because when you're desperate, it's you're not getting what you want, but you really want it, Yeah, that's it.
How did I feel? I think I felt cringy. I was just surely, why are you behaving
Why are you
that way?
this?
But I definitely felt super cringy because it's I don't know, for me it's I could feel and I knew that I was being desperate, but then I was also and therefore so yeah, the overall feeling was just cringe.
Tamara.
Yes, thank you very much. I was also very cringed out by myself. Because you can tell you're being desperate. You're like, ew, what is this? Stop. But you can't stop. So yeah, I got very cringed out by myself. And then I'm talking about like in terms of wanting a relationship, a romantic relationship. And then I started blaming not myself. I've grown past the point where I blame myself for things not happening to me. Now I was blaming society. So yeah, this is interesting to talk about. I've never really actually said it, but being a darker skinned girl, there's something like colorism, yeah, and it's actually something for realsies. Like, it's so for realsies. Like, I've actually experienced it, but I didn't know it was colorism. But anyway, so I started blaming it on colorism. I was like, guys just like lighter skinned girls. Anyway, I wanted to justify this colorism in my life so much so that what did I do? I would actually conduct experiments. Like, I'd ask the guys I know, what do you prefer? Light skin or dark skin?
It's not funny though.
It's not
funny.
And it's true. A lot of them said light skin. And in my head I was just like, you see, this just goes to prove my point. It's not my fault. It's society.
Please, I wish people could see that she's dramatizing. It's so funny.
But I got into such a bad rabbit hole. I didn't like who I was becoming. It became ugly who I was becoming. I was becoming those people who shut up. I was becoming those people who what am I trying to say by this? I was becoming those people who their whole identity is based on a problem they are facing. Like, you know how for Black women, the fact that racism is something that is apparent to them can be their whole personality. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So that was the kind of person I was becoming. And I remember I was listening to a podcast, and they're just like, you really can't be one of those people who your whole identity, everyone can identify to a struggle, but that struggle can't be your whole identity. So yeah, that's when I was just like, you know what, that whole act you've been pulling, that whole victim mentality, it's been ugly and we need to snap out of it.
It's not cute.
It's not cute.
It's not cute.
It's not cute. So yeah, I had to be okay with the fact that yes, I'm dark skinned. Colorism colorism is something you'll face. But like, I mean, you're also a woman, so sexism is also something you've constantly faced, and not constantly, but it's also something you faced, but you didn't die. Like, you don't die because of these struggles you're going through. You rise above them and just kind of move on and realize that there's more to you than your skin tone or whatever struggle you identify with. So yeah.
For me, how I felt in that situation of desperation, I felt unwanted, rather. Especially because in this context of relationships, when you become desperate, it's because someone there's some deficiency in what you want, be it attention, be it love, be it affection. And now I was yearning that. I was yearning that attention, that affection, that love. And now it made me feel like I was unwanted, like I wasn't a priority. Like, it didn't make me doubt my self-worth, but then I was doubting why I'm not a priority. Like, why am I not worthy of your attention? I do believe that I'm worthy, but then it's like I was trying to figure out, why am I not worthy for you? Like, why don't you want me, or why don't you like me in that manner, or show me that you care? So it was more of, and then in some way it wasn't centered like more on a romantic involvement. Yes, there were like romantic feelings involved, but then there was a small friendship in it. And now it's like, with the whole rejection part, it's like even the friendship died too. Like, it just went underneath. So I was trying to save that friendship in the long run, trying to also save that whatever could have been. So it didn't feel good. The friendship too was gone, and it was flushed down the drain. But yeah, I think those are my feelings: just fear, anxiety, pain, heartache, and everything in between. Yeah. That would lead me to my third /4, because I don't think this, because how did you act kind of ties in with how you felt and all that. But like, in response to that time of desperation, do you think your faith kind of contributed to how you acted? And if so, how did you act? Or how did your faith help you navigate through that season of desperation?
My faith. How did my faith help me?
Yeah.
My faith helped me to realize why it's like not recommended for people. Okay. My faith helped me to realize like why it's not recommended to date in high school, because when we were at some camp, we were being told that like the end result of dating ideally is marriage. If like you're dating in form 2, umeanza kudate, you'll have to go through form 2, form 3, form 4, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and then now maybe you get married. That's like 7 years. And you're not even counting like internships, getting financially stable, in all of that. That's 7 years of dating. In 7 years of dating, you might get to a point where you're like, we've been long enough, let's just fornicate. We've been together long enough, let's just fornicate,
Yeah.
So that's why it's recommended to start in college, because in college, like, it's a minimum of 4 years.
Yeah.
If you start in first year, at least it's 4 years versus 7 years. And in 4 years, at least you have your mind together, you're a bit more mature, you know what you're doing. Because in high school, you're dating for what? So I'm not saying that don't date in high school. I'm just saying it's easier to not date in high school, because then at least in college, people are not playing around, Yeah, the baby here is taking photos of us.
What was the question?
How did your faith help me navigate your desperation?
Oh, I think God will just like, stop stressing. You're embarrassing me. No, not really. I think for me, my faith, it constantly affirms that my life on this earth isn't just about being in a relationship, isn't just about getting a job, isn't just about doing all of these mundane things. These mundane things are important. Do them. I'm not saying go lie down, die for. Okay, I don't know. You decide. But the idea for me is that with my faith, I'm constantly affirmed that there's much more. So it's also kind of what has gotten me comfortable with the idea that marriage isn't promised for everyone. Like, Hey, if you had told me that in Form 2, I would have cried. I would have actually cried. Not even Form 2, like Form 4. I would have proper cried. But like these days, it's just kind of like, whatever, you know? Whatever happens, happens. And yeah. The end.
Oh, Tamara,
What was the question?
how did your faith help you navigate the season of desperation?
I think God. Honestly, I was too in my fields to realize this, but in hindsight, I'm learning. God was reminding me of the affirmations. If there's one thing I thank God for my parents, is how intentional they were in how they raised us. So they would constantly affirm, hey, black beauty, nini. And then, thankfully, in this time and day, there are people like Lupita, who you can point out, hey, she's dark and she's beautiful, look at what she's doing. So, God, in that time, was reminding me of this, was making me replay those memories. But, hey, man, I was too caught up in my feels and in that season that I didn't take heed. But then God actually tried to reach out. Ni mimi nilikata. Yeah, oh yeah, and they also to add to that, the desperation with friendship. I'm also I'm feeling like it's hard. It's hard to let go the desperation of wanting a good friend. But man, I'm putting it to God. And I'm just presenting it to God to help me go through that this season, because it's a season I'm still going through. Yeah.
For me, I guess my faith came in handy when, again, as Pauline said earlier on, like the type of person to like realize where something is not for you, you just move on. I think there's a quote that really hit me. It's been said over and over again, but it hit me harder this semester or last semester. If it's meant to be, it will be. If the person is for you, then they will come back. Like if it was meant to be, it will come back. But then if it wasn't for you, then it was never for you in the first place. So like if they don't come back, it wasn't for you in the first place. Either way, I'm just paraphrasing it. I can't remember the exact words. But it hit hard for me because hakuna vile, like it's right to force issues. Don't force anything. Like do your best, do your part, give your 100 or give your all where you see it's necessary, if you think it's necessary, but then don't die or don't kill yourself for something that you're seeing is not working or is not healthy for you. And I think that hit me more because it was like, by the way, I've been wasting my time here. And yeah, I guess I'm still healing, navigating through that journey of healing and trying to also get fulfillment in myself. Because a lot of times I've realized that we tend to get fulfillment from other things. We look for fulfillment from other things, from other people, instead of filling our own cup and filling ourselves. And yeah. I guess that's it for this episode. I hope you really enjoyed it and probably had a couple of takeaways that could help you in your life, in your journey, and all that. Yes, you can follow us on Instagram at P3T Podcast. Also for our sponsors who are out there, in the name of Jesus.
Coca-Cola.
Claim in the name of Jesus.
In the name of the Lord.
You could reach out on our email at p3tpodcast@gmail.com.
Really making it, guys.
Man,
Really making
looks like now we know our email.
Yeah. Also, you could share this episodes on, and also you could get it on any platform. We are now on Apple Music. Please do share our episodes with anyone or everyone.
Rate and review us on Apple Podcast.
Yes. We really appreciate you, and from
Unakanyaga simu.
we really appreciate you, and from all of us, it's a
Goodbye.
bye.
Sama bye.
Bye.